Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Apple, Spotify, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. You can buy, sell, trade, and earn cryptocurrencies on Uphold. They have 10 plus million users, 200 plus cryptocurrencies, and they're available in 150 countries. I've been using this platform since 2017. As with all exchanges, you can buy and sell on them, but you want to custody your own crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. If you'd like to learn more, please visit the link in the description. All right, my friends, breaking news. Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in Bahamas by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and it's likely there's an extradition that's going to follow this. So this is breaking news. Sam was scheduled to speak at the congressional hearing tomorrow, the hearing that's held by Maxine Waters, which is the U.S. House Committee of Finance. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen because he's obviously under arrest, and the turnaround time to get him extradited to the U.S. is probably going to take multiple days. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And also, this week overall was big because of that hearing. And also the Fed will be meeting on the 14th to talk about interest rate hikes, most likely a 50 basis points hike. And then also there was a scheduled FTX creditor hearing, a deadline to avert government shutdown as well on the 16th. So it was going to be a big week, but the big news right now, Sam has been arrested. And here the U.S. attorney of SDNY tweeted out, USA Damian Williams. Earlier this evening, Bahamian authorities arrested Samuel Bankman-Fried at the request of the U.S. government based on a sealed indictment filed by the SDNY. We expect to move to unseal the indictment in the morning and will have more to say at the time. So justice is starting, my friends, in this situation because we've all been waiting and looking at the dialogue and this man, Sam Bankman-Fried, going on TV shows and being interviewed and going at the Deal Book event and all the applause he's been getting and all the coddling he's been getting from mainstream media after committing fraud and stealing people's money. And it's unbelievable that he was walking around this whole time in the Bahamas in his $30 million penthouse there and not arrested, not taken into custody, right? We want the legal process to, of course, unfold. And he has to go through his trial and all that. But the fact that it took this long to get him into custody is a shame. It's pathetic. And I'm glad that they finally got this done. And the process of justice being served has started. So we'll see if he does appear at any type of congressional hearing this week. Most likely, like I said, not, because if you're being arrested, you're going to be in custody. I don't think he's going to make it. But this is finally some good news in this situation. And we can get the process going here for justice and also seeing how folks can get their money back from this whole debacle. Now here we got some big news around Caroline Ellison, who was, of course, Almeida's CEO. I've been tweeting about it. I've been telling other people, I mentioned on the podcast, I think she's going to bury Sam Bankman-Fried alive. Here's why. Sam going around saying, I didn't know what was happening at Alameda. Well, they never told me anything. I'm still researching, trying to see what I can uncover because I didn't know anything. That is indirectly throwing Caroline Ellison under the bus. You're essentially saying she did it, right? She was the CEO. She was the overseer of that part of the business. Well, we know that's a big lie from Sam. He knew what was happening, right? He knew, of course he knew, but he's trying to form the narrative he didn't to try to lessen his accountability. Well, Charles Gasparino from Fox Business tweeted out, speculation in legal circles is Caroline Ellison's hiring politically connected Wilmer Hale, which has deep ties to the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office and known for plea deals, indicates that she will likely cooperate with prosecutors to turn on Sam Bankman-Fried. She's going to bury him alive. he's done. And it's not just her, because a lot of folks, and they've been talking to a lot of not the mainstream media journalists, but a lot of the sleuths and journalists on YouTube, on Twitter. There have been insiders at Alameda clearly coming out and saying, hey, what Sam is saying in those Twitter spaces and those interviews are lies. He knew. So this is a situation we're in. And like I said, I think Caroline, she was smart. She didn't go on any media. She's been in hiding, and she's going to bury him alive on this. And he's going to get exposed even further, because he's not only not taking accountability, he's trying to put it on other people who were pretty much following his orders, right? And Caroline was once his girlfriend, so a woman scorned. He's going to get destroyed by Caroline, I think. So this is going to be one hell of a movie, my friends. When it comes out, I can't wait to see it. Now, funny thing is, Jay Clayton, yes, the former SEC chairman himself, Mr. File a lawsuit against Ripple on my last days, the last week of my job, and run out the door. He was on CNBC. He's, of course, a advisor to different crypto companies. And they asked him, why was Maxine Waters so nice when she first issued the invitation, talking about the invitation to Sam Bankman-Fried? Was she setting him up because she's going to slam him? Or was she being nice because he's given money to her campaign? And of course, Jay, he's kind of dodging the questions. Of course, he's not going to answer it. But of all people, you're going to ask Jay Clayton, Mr. Once again, filed a Ripple lawsuit on my second to last day, and then I'm gone, leaving the market in turmoil, losing billions of dollars for XRP holders and just the market as a whole. So unbelievable. Now, Senator Pat Toomey and Senator Sherrod Brown on the Republican side, they were trying to get Sam Bankman-Fried to come testify at the Senate banking hearing. This is different from the Democrats' Maxine Waters hearing, which was which is taking place tomorrow. So the Republicans were trying to get him there, and Sam said no. So that's interesting. That's very interesting that he said no. And they issued a letter, but of course, this now becomes irrelevant because Sam has been arrested, and we'll see. Maybe now he'll be forced to testify in future hearings around the FTX situation. Now, Gary Gensler continues to show what a pathetic excuse for a chairman he is, and he needs to be fired. He needs to be kicked out. He continues to do shady activities and not uphold the core values of the SEC, let alone as a government official and a government agency. So Gary Gensler has two calendars. This is coming from Fox News from Eleanor Tourette. The public one, an SEC spokesperson admits, is only updated from time to time, leaves off meetings with key Democrats, George Soros and Hillary Clinton, what else? Now, I'm not here to talk about politics, Hillary Clinton or George Soros. The fact of the matter is, Gary Gensler is a public servant taking my tax dollars and your tax dollars and getting paid and running the SEC. He needs to be accountable. He needs to be transparent, and he should not be hiding his calendar. We need to see, because he's a public official, he's actually working for us, right? We need to see his calendar, and he's been hiding it. It is December. We just got the July. Where the hell is August and September and October? Why is he editing it? Why is he leaving things off? What do you have to hide? You're supposed to be a government official. You're supposed to have integrity. But clearly, he lacks integrity. He's been doing shady stuff and who knows what else. And we've been covering this on the podcast. This man is unfit for office. And I'm going to be interviewing Representative Congressman Huizenga this week, who's part of the financial committee that oversees the SEC. I will also have Tom Emmer on hopefully this month, if not in early January, where we're going to talk about how they're going to hold him accountable, because he's going to be in trouble as they kick off in January, guys. Now, there's the other aspect to this. Well, I should say, actually, before I get to the other aspect, attorney John Deaton weighed in. He said, enough is enough. Gary Gensler believes he can do whatever he wants with no oversight. The SEC won't even provide public calendars of Gensler or other SEC staff. And when people like me state the SEC has become an innovation cesspool of corruption, we're the bad guys. He continues, he said, I got an email from the SEC. This is because I have asked for Hinman's public calendar. They sent me calendar entries that said there was a meeting with his office on June 14th, 2018 with Ripple. I pointed out that this couldn't be Hinman's calendar because he was in San Francisco that day. This was or has been going on for 9 months. I said the man gave a speech in San Francisco on June 14, 2018, and the calendar you provided doesn't list that speech, yet his trip was paid for by the government and the speech he gave is on the SEC website today. So see, shady tactics from the SEC, lack of integrity, fallen far from their core values. Why are you hiding these things? Clearly, conflicts of interest and corruption have seeped into the SEC, and they're trying to cover up things. If Bill Hinman gave a speech that we can readily find on the internet, even on the SEC's website, why is it not on his calendar? The SEC flew him out there, and the speech is on the website. Why isn't it on the calendar? It's insane. So John said, only when I sent them a draft complaint, I was filing, did they send an email? We're still working on it. It should not be this difficult to review the calendar of public servants, unless, of course, they're not working for the public, but on behalf of a select few. Boom. There you go. Now, here's the other thing with regards to the recent departure of the acting inspector general, Nicholas Padilla of the SEC. So Fox Business is saying here, an interesting side note here. According to Bloomberg Law, Padilla's departure comes as the IG's office is in the midst of conducting an audit of the SEC whistleblower program. The IG said it would conclude its audit by the end of September, but the report hasn't come out yet. Now remember, Nicholas Padilla also was criticizing how Gary Gensler has been running the SEC. And of course, lo and behold, he's out. You want to guess if he got pressure from the Gary Gensler to, for saying things that weren't in favor of Gary Gensler? I'm sure he got pressure. So Eleanor Turret of Fox Business continues. She says, here are some findings from the Bloomberg Law investigation. More than $1.3 billion has been awarded to tipsters since 2011. Whistleblowers/attorneys say the agency keeps them in the dark as soon as cases drag on for up to 10 years, as some cases drag on up for up to 10 years. More than $430 million has gone to clients of law firms, employing 3 former high-ranking SEC officials, including one who helped create the program and another who headed the whistleblower's office for 5 years. So there's like this revolving door. You work at part of the SEC, and then you jump to a law firm where you have that connection still with the SEC, and then the whistleblower tips go to the SEC officials, or that agency. Something doesn't seem right, right? Here it says less than 1% of more than 64,000 whistleblower tips have resulted in an award. And they provide a link to the July report. So just a lot of garbage coming out of the SEC, and it looks like it's going to be uncovered here. Finally, Coinbase has agreed to honor their prior commitment to provide the Flare Token airdrop to those XRP holders who participated in a snapshot. Great news. Coinbase, one of the largest exchanges, a lot of XRP holders, of course, had their tokens there and did the snapshot. And of course, Coinbase and other US exchanges proceeded to delist XRP after the SEC lawsuit. But this is some good news. And by the way, I'll be interviewing Hugo Filion, who's the co-founder and CEO of Flare, this week. So if you have questions you would like me to ask him, please leave it in the description. Of course, I'll talk about Coinbase and the distribution and what happens after the distribution, how you will receive your tokens, what happens to Songbird once this Flare token distribution takes place. I'll be asking him all those questions. So if you have any, please leave them in the comment section. But anyway, guys, what do you think about this Sam Bankman-Fried arrest news? I think this is great The wheels of justice are spinning. We need to move faster. Sam Bankman-Fried needs to be in jail because he is a criminal. If I've said it time and time again, if you and I did what Sam Bankman-Fried did, we would be arrested right away. We wouldn't be walking around, hanging out in the Bahamas in our $30 million penthouse. We would not. They would right away put us in handcuffs, my friends. And it just shows money and political connections, what that can get you, right? So I'm really interested to see what happens with Caroline Ellison, because I think, like I said earlier, she's going to bury him alive. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you all later.